Well, I've come here to respond to questions that have been raised in my inbox, and especially the responses from the last video that I posted yesterday. A lot of you are asking why I left Didi Nyoro out of that picture. It's because Didi Nyoro is not a candidate for deputy president once Rigathi Gachagua is impeached, and I'll tell you why. The president likes people who take responsibilities or responsibility for their actions. He likes people who own things. He likes to see people take up things and execute them. I know there's this talk that the president wants to do everything, but on this, I'll tell you why. What I'm speaking about is related to Didi Nyoro not being a candidate, not even being in the top three. Is because one of the things that hurt the president so much in this country is the Gen Z demonstrations. I mean, these guys almost took over this country from the president. And it was because of the finance bill. Now, the finance bill had two people who were the image of this bill. Now, it had Kuria, the MP, the Molo MP, Kimani Kuria, and it had Didi Nyoro, who is the top of the budget committee. So the president was put on his defense to the extent that he didn't sign the finance bill because of the Gen Z, and yet he was left alone. Now, at that time, the people who are the faces of the finance bill, I know Kimani really tried to defend this, but Didi Nyoro was nowhere to be seen. He did not take responsibility. He sort of was a coward. He did not own this process. They left it to the president. I mean, at the time of crisis, that is when you know who a person is, how they handle the crisis, how they deal with it, how they respond to it. Now, that was a time of crisis that Kimani Kuria, whose house was burned, and Didi Nyoro needed to own this document. And not to the exclusion of other people. They needed to own it and take responsibility and look like it's ours. But they left it to the president. The president dealt with his own skunk, and you see how it panned out. So Didi Nyoro exposed himself. He showed that he cannot be, what is the word? He cannot be depended on. Now, if we can't depend on you to take ownership of the finance bill as someone who sits at the top of the budget committee, how do we depend on you to be the deputy president? Reason, Didi Nyoro is nowhere to be seen in the top three that I gave you yesterday. Number one, Anne Waiguru. Number two, Kimani Ichung'wah. And number three is the good Professor Kindiki. Now, before I end the video, I'd like to tell you something. Now, a lot of you are also asking a question about what next? What next after next week on Tuesday? It will go to the Senate. That one I explained, and I'll explain further that whole process. But I want to tell you what the president will do if the Senate confirms the impeachment from the National Assembly as submitted by the Speaker to the other Speaker, Amason Kingi. The president will nominate a deputy president. Once he nominates a deputy president, then it goes to Parliament for approval, just like Parliament approves all these things. Now you ask probably, why is it that it doesn't go to the party? It only goes to the party because the president at that time as a candidate is running for president. Now he's president. Now once he's president, the party does not vet his choices. It doesn't go back to the party. He is the president. So the president will nominate one of those people I have mentioned. And once he nominates, it goes to Parliament for approval. In my next video, I'll be explaining to you the whole process and why it had to be this process. Bye.